this is Jessica Fox filming for VETT222 Task 1, Prepare Serum and Plasma. So I've decided to use a vacutainer on this patient with a 22 gauge needle. And I have my plain red top tube, the purple top with EDTA anticoagulant, and then the blue top tube, which will produce citrated plasma to take a look at her clotting times. I have two plain, no additive white top tubes to harvest the plasma and serum. And I'll do that with these pipettes. And with the red top tube, you do have to use this wooden stick here to kind of rim the sample. So let's go ahead and get started and draw her blood. My assistant here is going to restrain the patient and occlude her vein for me. And then we are a participant of Fear Free, so I do have another assistant feeding her cookies to keep her distracted. And I'm going to use a cephalic vein in her front leg here. So let me do this. The alcohol. And you want to insert the needle bevel up. And you just let the tube fill to the fill line here. And then as I take the tubes out, I'm just going to gently invert it and move on to the next tube. All right, so then my assistant's gonna hold up and then hold off the vein where I had poked. Just to make sure that the anticoagulants mix properly with the blood so we have a good sample. And as you can see, I'll show you that these are all filled here to their spots. So we'll allow these to clot properly and then put them in the centrifuge. All right, so now that the samples have been properly clotted, I'm gonna go ahead and take the plain red top tube and my wooden stick here and just kind of rim the sample. So there's that. And we do need to place these in the centrifuge. So we will balance out the two red tops and the blue top tubes for the plasma. Well, this is already set for the proper amount of RPMs and it's going to be for 10 minutes. So we'll go ahead and turn that on, start the timer, and when that's done spinning, we'll be back. All right, so now that the centrifuge is done spinning, we'll go ahead and take a look at our samples. So here's the red top tube here, and this looks like a really good sample. So what we're going to want to do is transfer it to the no additive white top tube. So we'll go ahead and use a clean pipette for that. I do also want to make sure that this is properly labeled. So you're going to get the serum from the red top tube. So I'm going to label this serum. All right. And then we'll transfer this. Just like so. And then we've properly harvested the serum, and now we can move on to the plasma. All right, so I'm going to use a clean pipette for that and label this plasma. And now we have properly harvested the plasma. So I'll go ahead and show you these. And then the last thing I wanted to discuss today is when you draw a sample, it can become either hemolyzed or lipemic. And the hemolyzed sample would be essentially the breakage of the red blood cell's membrane. So it causes the plasma or serum to have a pinkish reddish tinge to it. And causes of this would be either putting too much pressure on the syringe when you're drawing the blood, or mixing the sample too vigorously, things like that. So the sample could also be lipemic, which would be kind of like a milky, cloudy tinge to the plasma or serum. And causes of this would be the patient recently ate before the blood draw. So to avoid this, you would want to have the patient fasted for at least 12 hours before the blood draw. And this completes task 1.